On the line
momentarily.
Somebody should tweet about this.
Yeah.
Tweet it.
Yeah, good.
Tweet it.
easy.
This table's gonna go, and then where the fuck will we be?
Yeah, where the fuck will we be?
On
On the floor.
We'll have to go to IKEA and get a table.
Oh, hey, there's one near us now. Yeah, we
They
drove by there on Saturday, and it's like IKEA parking on the other side of the highway. I was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Live stream offline.
Are we gonna do this shit again? This fucking shit again?
Easy there, pal.
You were having some computer issues earlier.
No, this is that bullshit that happened like what 2 or 3 weeks ago, where
did, yeah.
it all ended up on the final archive, but
It did.
It never said we were live streaming.
Right.
Huh.
It says we're live.
I don't
I know it
remember
does.
that at all.
How many bits? What's our bit rate?
I don't think you were here.
Was there an update that you
we're
skipped?
fine. No, we're all fine here. I mean,
How are you?
it looks like we're fine. We haven't dropped any frames, but it's the same bullshit it did like 3 weeks ago. So I'm gonna stop.
Right.
You didn't tweet that out, did you, Chuck?
Hell no.
Good job.
No.
Good job. Glad to see you're on top of this shit.
I'm so on top of it.
Man.
That's why they call me Little Screw.
What?
Call that
That's not why.
Little screw.
Little.
That's not why at all.
L-I-L screw.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Little Screw. Are we live?
I don't know. Still says offline.
No.
Fuck you, YouTube.
Live stream.
Fucking hell.
You want to just restart that computer?
Apparently.
Okay.
Well, at least this didn't happen on 400. That would have been a bummer.
That would have sucked ass.
Because we had a lively chat for.
What? There now?
There it is. Death too soon.
Stop rebooting.
Okay.
Stop all the rebooting.
Fucking stop.
It was
all the
death
reboot.
too soon. And now it's back.
We are on the line.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's not the archive of the 7
No,
second
because I
video?
just did this, and I
Okay.
did that a second ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now he's doing it.
All right.
We're all doing crazy, crazy things.
Oh.
Now I'm on.
Yes, I see.
That
the
is still
crazy
one of my
thing.
favorite
Crazy.
screen caps is the whoa.
That was me.
Is the confetti and all of us going
All of us making the dumbest gestures possible.
Well, we got assaulted.
Oh, it was good.
Hey, you tweeted.
Oh shit.
I'm retweeting
Oh
that.
motherfucker. Wait.
Yeah, that.
Oh my god.
Retweet. Retweeted. I hope Robot Steve
Are-
joins us.
Aren't you enjoying having all of these
Robot
characters to use?
Steve.
Oh, I love
On
all our
Twitter?
characters.
I went over 140 for the first time today.
I don't know if I've gone over 140. Fuck to it.
I just aim for 140.
Yeah.
I aim for my normal tweet length, and then I don't have to shorten words like an asshole.
Yep. That's pretty much
That-
how I
that's
roll.
how I've treated it.
I was just like, I'm over. No, I'm not really, but
Yeah.
All good.
yeah, we're all fine
Yeah,
here.
like just because they give you 280 doesn't mean you have to just use all of them.
Not according to literally everyone I follow, except for you guys, because like my timeline is basically just doubled in size. It's annoying. People are too verbose. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate 280.
It'll die back down.
No, it won't.
It
People
will.
are still going to use
No, it
no. It's not novelty use of 280. It's people like honestly using it, but man,
It'll die back down. Trust me.
nope.
Chuck knows these things.
I do.
You're going to
Or
see
does he?
in like a week, you're going to see like people are even going to be using like twit longer and shit on 280 tweets, or they're going to be threading 45 280.
Oh,
tweets
that's already
together.
happened.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Writing the goddamn script for B movie and tweets, in half the tweets now, I guess.
B movie.
I should see that.
Like-
somewhere.
Apparently,
Jerry
my
Seinfeld?
nephews love B movie. I think it's on Netflix. It was on when I got there last weekend.
Are they doing a B movie podcast now?
You would not want to hear my nephews talk about anything.
Probably not.
What is the deal to talk with the guy that talks like this? But he's a bee. Why can't he just be?
Would you?
It was that
fucking
and
be? I wouldn't fuck-
Smurfs Hidden Village. Mystery of the Hidden Village. There was apparently a Smurfs movie this year.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they
Must come out when the Transformers movie came out.
and my nephew loved it until he yanked the TiVo off the entertainment center.
How
He
did
just
he do that?
wanted to climb inside the Smurfs.
Oh, he was playing with some toys on the front, and he said the TiVo needs to move, and he just pulled it, and it's one of those new white wavy TiVos, and the plug is like your standard, whatever the circular one is, and it just went yoink, popped right out, and immediately fell back behind the entertainment center because that's what plugs do.
Yeah.
Wait.
And then when you plug the TiVo back in, it's like, yeah, we have an update, and it's going to be about half an hour, and I'm like, oh sweet Jesus, no. This is the only thing that made him sit still for any amount of time.
This is why children are terrible, and we should exterminate them.
Well, the thing about children is...
Humanely.
The thing about them is they want to be exterminated because the entire time you watch them is spent keeping them from murdering themselves.
Well, let's
Because
just stop
anything-
watching children.
Anything that can murder them, they're like, I think I prefer being murdered right now. And you have to stop them from murdering themselves.
Just don't. They'll either learn or...
They're not mine, so I can't make that choice.
They left them in your care. They gave you temporary guardianship, so you decide who lives and dies.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, but the one he is very much in the mode of like, hey, don't do that, and then that thing becomes the only thing
he wants
that
to
he
do,
wants to do for the rest of his life. So yeah, it's fun. Kids are fun. They also watch B movie.
What is the deal with kids watching B movie? That's a little bit too Cosby.
Yeah.
And I know people keep requesting us to do that one, but like
B movie? Really?
B movie? No.
yeah, it's come up a few times.
It's bad movie fiends, not bad movie bees.
Well, it's bizarre because like apparently he has a relationship with a human woman, but he's a bee, and yeah, it's weird.
That does sound weird.
It's a weird movie.
He was turned into a bee by an evil witch, and all he
No.
has to do is fuck
No,
a
he
human
wasn't.
woman to get back to being a human.
No, literally none of that.
No?
No, he's just a bee. He's a straight up fucking bee.
What's happening now? What's happening now?
Nothing.
Okay.
Don't even mind what's going on here.
All right. I just won't look.
Don't trust the bee.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain,
Louis
and don't even
CK
finish
over
that.
there and
Skinslip, I think we also paid $3 for both of these Captain America TV movies, didn't
On
we?
digital versatile disc.
That's not what it means.
What does it mean?
means absolutely nothing.
Digital video disc?
Nope. Also not that.
Don't voodoo dumbly.
Yes, that is what it means.
That's good advice, though. You got to admit,
Stop pointing at me.
Chuck. I know you do the voodoo. Yes,
Yeah,
you're Chuck.
Depth variance disc.
Yeah.
Double vaginal.
I knew it was good. I
Display.
knew it. I just knew it was going there, and there was nothing I could do to stop it.
What's up now?
I don't know.
What's going on?
Everything is being stupid.
Are we still
You have to
streaming?
chop me in the neck to
Yeah,
stop
we're
it.
fine. Chuck just needs to calm down and realize some things are out of your control.
Perfectly calm. Calmer than you are.
Calmer than you. Calmer than you.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah.
Wait. Has literally never worked in the entire history of trying to calm people down.
Yeah.
My favorite is the after being screamed at, don't raise your voice at me. Be like, you've been fucking shouting at me for like 10 minutes.
Shut up, Dad.
Raise my
If that is your real name.
We should podcast.
Yeah,
right.
we should
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get this
Let's-
fucking going. 'Cause-
People can show up when they show up.
Fucking
'cause,
A.
Yeah, we got to do this.
yeah. Woo!
All right.
Woo! Death too soon.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey! Oh my God, welcome.
BMFcast.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa. Yeah, season 2.
Yeah.
Hooray! Season 2 begins.
Season 2, episode 1.
S2E1.
Also known as episode 401.
Yeah, we're keeping the big numbers because we like them, but
yeah,
really
we do.
we're on season 2 now. So welcome.
Right.
And we've replaced Chuck with a monkey.
True.
But I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Monkey.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks. Robot jocks.
Hey.
However, there are bad movies. Doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags as in giant bags of trash.
Boo.
That they are.
Ah, smelly, liquidy garbage.
And then in the third half, we let the monkey play the drums.
Cool. All right, I didn't know about that.
I think how Chuck this episode suddenly feels like that man who traveled through time and came back 5 seconds too late.
Uh-huh.
So he's out of phase with the rest of us.
Slightly out of phase.
I'm not quite sure what's happening.
Neither am I. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, to kick off season 2, we did a part 2 of our previous movie that we covered in 1979's Captain America 2, Death Too Soon.
Yeah. Never too young to die.
That's not the same. But he does have a star.
But it is
And
technically
he drives through a
correct.
grove. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah,
blew my mind.
Rep Brown's back.
Yay!
All that. Let's get it.
Saratoga, Blake. Saratoga.
Or apparently we forgot how to do this for season 2.
Season 2, we're just making it up. Whatever we want to do. New rules.
No rules, just right.
Easy there.
Are we still doing plot summary? Should we do those still?
Yeah, you can do it. I'll let you do one.
Alright.
Yeah,
Since
do
I'm in
You
charge
do
now.
one this time.
The star. It's season 2. We just interrupt each other constantly. The Star-Spangled Hero must battle a villain's plan to poison America with a chemical that horrifically accelerates the aging process. Horrifically.
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 Alright.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, no.
So new rules, we rate it first.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh.
And then we just leave.
Yeah, really short episodes. They're micro podcasts.
Microcast. It's like microtransactions, only they cost you less.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
This thing.
Rep Brown. Back.
Yeah.
Rep Brown is back. And the villain from the plot summary is Christopher Lee.
Right. He is also back.
yeah, as Miguel.
He's was he even the first one? Wait,
No, he's back on the BMFcast.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember Christopher Lee being in the first one.
No, he fought Captain Invincible, and now he fights Captain America. Except he doesn't fight him at all.
Not really. No.
Talks to him on the phone once.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's most of the same cast is back in the background. People.
They replaced the lady. The
Oh, is that a
lady in the
different
lab
lady?
is a different lady. Now it's Connie Selica from The Greatest American Hero and Hotel.
All right.
Hotel.
Yeah,
Thanks for that creepy IMDb summary, Chuck.
you are quite welcome. That's my shtick for season 2. Creepy facts
was in
guy.
Stocking. Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Let's just talk about this movie.
Okay, let's just jump
All
right
right.
in. Captain America, he's painting pictures.
Yeah, okay. So we already deviated from proper Captain America in the first one in that he's a California guy driving a sweet van around, all that kind of shit. Nowhere near Brooklyn or anything Captain America related.
No.
But yeah, he's continuing to live that skateball life out in California, just hanging out with his sweet van. And
God, he goes to Skateball City. I mean, he really does. He just goes to Beach Town, USA, and it's just frisbees and
jean shorts.
yeah. Nobody's wearing a fucking shirt.
No, not really. And
You don't need a
but-
shirt
so-
when you're on roller skates.
After like the long like credit sequence where he's driving through to get to where he's going,
It's 25 minutes
Yeah.
of credit sequence,
It-
by the way.
so it settles on this beach community, and it is just giving you the flavor of this beach community, just panning through. And it's one of those things that, like, if this was a modern movie, it would be the 30 seconds before a nuke goes off, because it is just showing like how nice everything is and how everyone's just having fun, and just, you know, guy skates by with a ghetto blaster and just is just and everyone's enjoying the music and dancing, and it keeps panning over, and it gets to Captain America, who is literally just painting a picture of an old lady.
Yes, the old lady is
sketching a
posing
picture.
for him.
Yes.
he's just got an easel set up in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Little old Aunt May looking lady is sitting there getting her, original Aunt May, not hot Aunt May that we have now.
Right.
I don't know if Aunt May got hot or if we just got older. I haven't figured it out yet.
I'm not sure.
No, she got hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no.
He's not doing any of the, you know, like, man, what what awesome California extreme adventure is Captain America up to in this hot banging town? And no, he's fucking just sketching pictures of old ladies.
Yeah, and Ultimate Frisbee gets a little out of control, and a guy goes diving forward towards the lady, so which he stands up and like blocks him out of the way with his Captain America powers, and then she's like, "Oh, I thought it was a terrible mugger. We have this problem here." And he's like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, roving gangs are stealing all our pension checks as soon as we cash them.
As soon as we cash our Social Security.
Yep.
These thugs take it.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, have you cashed your pension check this month?" And she's like, "No, I haven't." He's like, "I want you to do that."
Yeah, please do. I want to watch you get
And
mugged.
I don't know why, but little old lady basically goes to a bodega to cash her check.
And the gang is just all right there, and one of them just gives the signal for, I got this.
She cashes her check and then immediately goes down a back alley.
Right.
But it's the middle of the day, and every California fuckhead is out doing whatever dumb California thing they're doing, just hacky-sacking and, just pushing babies in strollers and having a good time. But this one lady is being followed by a street tough.
Yep.
Ooh, a tough.
And
Then
then,
they snatch her purse, and he
But
takes
not
off.
after Reb Brown has driven his sweet van
Yeah,
right.
into the parking lot, like creepily stalking old lady as he's doing it.
And we know what's coming because we saw the first Captain America. And
we did.
So purse snatching happens. The guy takes off on foot, and he explodes out of the back of the van as he's wont to do in his Captain America motorcycle.
he sure does.
And
He chases that guy down and grabs the purse. Or the dude is going to throw the purse to another guy
In a dune buggy.
riding by in a dune buggy. Captain America intercepts that pass. And the guy in the dune buggy is like, "Consarn it," and just starts driving down the beach.
well, he takes out the guy that he knocks out the guy that took the purse. And I think does he go back and give the purse back and then go chase after?
Yes.
Because
he gives the purse back first.
For some reason,
Yes.
he takes his motorcycle back, parks the motorcycle, gives the purse back, and then takes off after the dune buggy on foot.
Oh, but first, before that, he is about to get in a fight with the first street tough.
Oh, right.
Who pulls a knife, and Captain America pulls a shield, and whiffs the shield over
Yes.
the tough's head. And
Tough is like,
"You fucking idiot."
"You dope."
And then the shield boomerangs back and clocks him very slowly in the back of the head.
Yeah, I just love that Captain America's shield is this clear plexiglass thing that is basically the front windscreen of his bike.
Yeah. He just yoinks it off when he needs it.
Yep. But it flies in slow motion whenever he
does.
throws it. It's
It's real bad.
it just God, it looks like the cheapest goddamn thing ever.
Well, later when he's using it to fight some creatures, it's real bendy and not very sturdy.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It looks like the top of one of those stand-up cylindrical drink coolers from the convenience store.
Yes.
Looks like they just snatched one of those and painted a star
I
on
think
it.
it's made out of Valuebranium.
Yeah. Okay.
But
But-
yeah,
Dune buggy guy's like, cheese it. So he just starts driving down the beach, and he just keeps looking over his shoulder, and eventually Captain America is just lethal weaponing down the beach at him. The movie speeds up to make it
speed
look
up.
like he's fast.
Yeah.
and he just kind of catches up to the guy and goes, "Yoink!"
I just love the poor choice on the filmmaker's part to film him in front of waves.
Yes.
Like, let's speed him up as he runs, but let's show the waves in the background as we do it. So
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
like he's altering time and going
Not
as
so
fast
good.
as he can. Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, he yoinks that dude
He
out
does.
of the sand buggy, the dune buggy, and the dune buggy mows over a bunch of children.
It does. Yes.
But
No.
at least he caught that guy.
And that was the death too soon.
Yes. All
They
those
do.
children.
They do make a point to show the dune buggy slowly turning into the sea, as if to return from whence it came.
Yes.
It did. It went to be back with its people.
Right.
Yes.
Well, no one ever buys a dune buggy. You just
just end up
find
with
one.
one.
You just
Like,
pull
oh,
one out
man.
of the.
They're like shark's teeth. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I found a dune buggy.
Yeah.
You just pluck one out of the sea
Yeah.
and ride it off.
20
into the
years
sunset.
later, a dude with a
just-
metal detector is gonna be like, "Fucking sweet, dune buggy."
I mean, they show up on your beach, and if you keep feeding them, they eventually
right.
stick around.
They follow you
And
home.
then you've got a
Yeah.
dune buggy.
Then
Yeah,
you
got
gotta
a
drive it.
flock
gotta
of dune buggies
fucking
driving around your blanket.
Domesticate these Canadian dune buggies that you get.
Yep.
Yeah.
The dune buggies all drive south for the winter. And
But
Anyway.
yeah,
Oh, a
I
dune
guess
buggy.
this is when we're introduced to the actual plot.
Sort of like he talks this guy down. Like, before you go to prison, you're going to tell me all the name. Basically, the old lady
Yeah.
purse snatching plot is foiled
Yeah.
by him.
He's like, "First of all, you're never gonna rob old ladies again." He's like, "Yeah, deal." And then he's like, "Now tell me everyone in your gang." And the guy goes, and then just cut away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know how do we see Christopher Lee? Like,
Probably.
I think we go straight to like a shot of a prison.
yeah, it's like this real sinister, like, ooh, it's a prison. You're like, yes,
Yeah,
and
and?
then it's just like, here's another shot of the prison. You're like, uh-huh. And then here's another one. And you're like, okay, guys. And
Yeah,
then
it's prison.
it's just Christopher Lee walking through a prison
Yeah.
Yeah, and
doing
basically,
stuff.
He's
Basically-
like, he's
oh, no,
behind a
no,
desk
no.
most of the time.
We didn't see him first because the main guy who works in Captain America Bureau goes to a lab, and he's just like, open this lab.
Oh right, yeah,
And some assistant is like, he doesn't want to be disturbed. And then they tell the security to blow the door. And
which is pretty cool. They have like a coin slot for blowing the door open.
yeah, they just kind of push, flip this open and do a thing.
Apparently,
and
they run into this a lot.
yeah, just put a nickel in there and blow the door.
Man.
yeah.
But
Oh, it's a Nickelodeon.
yeah,
God, that is good.
Wow.
That is,
Yeah.
that is satisfied.
I set him up.
Satisfying.
Yeah, so they get in there and the lab is ransacked, and the main dude looks around and he finds some glass and it's got some letters written on it, which he shows to Reb Brown. He's like, see, he's started to write us a note. It says MIGU, so that must mean
Migu.
it's Miguel.
That's that
That's-
new rap band that all the kids like.
That's the one that makes all the shitty toys, right?
Yes,
like
me-
that
me-
would
yeah.
have made the toys for this.
Yes,
yeah.
probably. The Migu. But yeah, and then they just immediately start hyping the fuck out of Miguel. They're like, well, it must be Miguel. He did all these things. He's murdered thousands and thousands of people at various events across the
The
world.
most threatening man in the world.
And now he's
Miguel.
here.
This guy has this guy's rap sheet down. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been trying to pin everything on Miguel. Miguel.
Yes. So that's when they cut to Christopher Lee just in a suit walking through this prison, going to an office, and guy comes in and is just like, yeah, we're not meeting our quota, sir, on things, and it's weird paperwork shenanigans and going to talk to a scientist and just tell him to work faster.
And he doesn't really. Does he eventually explain that he's taken over this prison? Like, is it part of the?
Yeah, because there's
he says like they'll never think to look for us in this prison.
yeah.
Yeah, basically his grand plan was he found a prison that was supposed to get a new warden, and they basically
Just pretended to be.
yeah
a-
captured or killed that guy, and then he was just like, I'm the new warden, and everyone's like, cool.
Yeah, because
And-
there's a guard in there with the scientist guy, and he's just like, don't worry, Miguel, I'll make sure he does stuff. And they're like, you need to not say Miguel, you need to say warden whatever, because otherwise we'll get caught. And Christopher Lee is he's like, we're not getting caught. It's never going to happen.
It won't happen.
Yeah, why would they look for bad guys in a prison?
Right.
Duh.
And it's so weird because he starts giving this speech where the camera's kind of pushing in on him, where he's just like, tell me, who would expect to look for me, Miguel, in a prison such as this? And it's
Like
that
he's
moment.
about to launch into a damn musical.
Yeah, but it's like at that moment the movie is supposed to cut, and then Captain America is outside,
Right.
but it doesn't do that. It just launches into an hour of absurd, who the fuck cares plot, where Captain America goes to a small town, hangs out there for a while.
Because-
he shows up and like,
Belleville or
he
something?
Yeah.
fought like, all right, he goes to a dock first.
They're like, the drugs that Miguel wants come from Ecuador, and this
Yes.
port just got a shipment from Ecuador.
So yeah, he goes and finds some powder and fucks up a couple of guys there.
Okay, some dock workers are doing dock
Yeah.
worker things, and he launches out of the back of his van, plows through a bunch of stacked boxes, leading to at least 2 broken necks where dudes fall off whatever they were doing. Another dude makes the mistake of attacking him with a forklift, and he just dumps that guy out of the forklift.
Right.
And he fights this one guy for a while, this one poor dock worker who's just like, I'm just doing my job. And then eventually he gets to the boxes, rips them open, punches through the boxes inside the container, and is just like, sweet, drugs. And he puts one down the front of his pants.
Because he's going to fucking get on the horse later.
And then you see Connie Celica pull up in her Trans Am outside for some reason.
It's a bitch in Trans Am.
And then this just bag of drugs comes flying over the wall,
Yep.
lands in her passenger
I would
seat.
have rather see Connie Trans Am pull up at her Celica. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. So drugs land perfectly in her passenger seat, and she's just like,
Yep.
yeah, all right.
Trump was right.
He was.
That's what they're going to do.
You
gonna
have to
throw 'em over.
You have to build the wall bigger and transparent. Otherwise, the drugs.
They're just going to throw him over like Captain America.
Exactly like.
But yes,
Captain
and
America.
then there's some labbing that happens where
There is some labbing.
They're like, we have these finger painting things that are supposed to be.
They have
whatever.
like these 4 color
analysis. Sure.
just
Yeah.
finger paint smears on a piece of paper, and they're like, these match.
Yep.
This movie has so many like Batman 66 stinger type things in it.
Yeah.
I expected every piece of lab equipment to be meticulously labeled above it.
No,
and I
but
was
they
very
just have dumb
disappointed.
names.
No, they
for-
just have
it's
nothing.
the
They have nothing.
spectroanalyzer and the the photon spectrometer and everything. You have like 2 pieces of equipment, but they all get weird,
Yeah.
crazy names.
But they science for a bit before he goes
do.
to the small town.
That's true.
And the second he shows up, well, he follows the guy that's supposed to be
follow the guy.
delivering the stuff. They
Yes.
follow the delivery, and that's what leads him to this small town.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, well, I'm not going to, like...
Yeah, because
buses
he hides at the pier, watches the guys who come pick up the rest of the drugs,
Right.
follows them. There's some weird checkpoint to where they throw the drugs out of the car and then keep driving into this town.
Yep. So
He-
he follows the person into the town because he doesn't know they made the
Right.
handoff or the drop or whatever. And then he's just like, all right, I guess I'm going to case this joint, which means I'm going to sit in the middle of the town square and paint a cat.
Yeah, there's a cat here, so I'm going to paint it.
Apparently, it's his cat,
Is it?
Heathcliff.
Okay.
That's what he says. The cat's chilling on his car seat later on.
I wonder if
I
he
think
got
he,
it.
I
From,
think he just took it.
I wonder if he got it from the bodega from the beginning of the movie where the old lady cashed her check.
Probably did.
Yeah,
That's
must
where
have
you
been.
get
Yeah.
a free cat.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's just sketching this cat, and then some dudes.
No,
show
he's
up.
full on painting.
Well,
this
sorry,
cat.
this one. Yes, he's painting the cat.
Yeah.
And dudes show up and are basically like, "Hey, you're a stranger. We don't like you.
We don't take
Get
kindly
out."
to strangers around here.
What are you doing? He's like, "I'm painting a cat." I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, well, that's cool. No,
He's-
get
he-
out.
They actually say, like, why are you painting the cat here? And he says, this is where the cat is. And they're like, listen, you son of a bitch. You know?
That's too clever for this town. We're gonna whip your ass.
Yeah.
boy.
So they kind of surround and intimidate him, and the main dude like dips a brush in his paint and just paints like black rim glasses on the cat.
Well, because they were like, "Do you see clearly that you should
Yeah.
leave now?" He's like, "Your cat can see now."
Yeah. Now your cat's got
He's
20/20
like,
vision.
He's like, "Oh, I do too now,
Yeah.
so I'll pack up my stuff and go."
sorry, I'll go.
And they're like, "Okay, well, good." And he doesn't leave at all.
No.
He starts exploring around the town. Basically, sees a bunch of people lined up at the vet's office, and then is like, "The hell's going on here?" And just kind of casually strolls by.
He's like, well, I got a cat.
Yeah.
Let's investigate
and
this.
so he starts talking to a random young kid that comes out of it, and then starts talking to his mom, who's basically doing the same. Like, you don't need to be here. Maybe you should go see the vet in like Greenville or
Yeah.
Greendale or whatever the hell
Yeah,
it was.
Greendale. Let's just say Greendale.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, but I just kind of want to see the cat. You know, everyone's basically doing the get out stranger
Yeah.
thing. You know,
It's like, look, we don't take kindly
bullshit,
to
yeah.
strangers, and fuck your cat. So please just go.
So then he waits a little while and takes the cat into the vet anyway. And this guy is very obviously not a vet because he's like, I don't know how to handle an animal. And also he gives him, like, I think he broke his something, which he explains later is a type of beetle.
Yeah, he says catarrhalism.
Yeah.
He says something, and the guy's like, oh, yeah. It might just be sprained. You should probably take him to Greendale.
Yeah, the animal hospital up in Greendale.
Yeah, they'll treat him better. I don't know. The cat doesn't like me. And meanwhile, like as the guy's pretending to kind of look at the cat, Reb Brown is just poking at everything in the office, like picking up the drugs and like
Yeah.
needles and stuff. And he's like, "Well, check this out." And
He's just looking for pills.
yeah, he just
He just wants the horse tranquilizers.
Therefore,
get
my
swole.
cat.
But yeah, eventually he's just like, "All right, Doc, I'll see you around. Just give me my cat." And he leaves, and the guy immediately goes and grabs like a medical dictionary and looks up whatever the word is. Doesn't reveal what it is, but he slams the book closed. And it's just like, son of a. So
And then
he just kind of
man.
keeps driving around, and then
Yeah, I was going to say a whole bunch of bullshitting for the rest of the second act, which basically involves him continually kind of stalking the mother lady from earlier.
yeah, because he asked the kid was obviously not on the whole like we got to get the stranger out of town. The kid was being friendly, and he was like, "Hey, kid, you want to come help me learn about the town or whatever. The
Yeah.
mom's like, no, the kid needs to work the farm where I live. That's not happening.
He's got his chores.
Yeah.
Also, stranger danger.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
He's not going to go in your sweet van
Hey,
with no windows.
In the 70s, man, you just got in vans. You just, if you saw a van and
Explains
it
a
was
lot
sweet,
about you, Chuck.
you just get in it. Yeah.
That's okay. You can let these repressed memories go.
Oh my God. Everything suddenly makes sense.
Yeah. But then the guys that threatened him, well, the two guys or three guys that threatened him earlier show up with about three more dudes and are basically like, hey, thought you were going to leave. And he's like, oh, yeah, I just kind of stopped for a little bit. And they basically come up with baseball bats now and start whacking at his legs and,
Whacking.
yeah. He's not very Captain America-ish right about
No,
it.
he's
No.
real bad at all of this.
Yeah.
But, all right, so I know we've already established that this isn't following any kind of actual Captain America canon.
Yeah.
But, like, the other thing they're doing is for some reason they're doing the secret identity thing, which Captain America was never remotely had a secret identity. Like, everyone was like, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Like, straight up everybody knows this. But, like, this whole fight is like, oh, I can't reveal that I can actually whip all their asses really bad.
Yeah,
Except-
this is a long stretch of no Captain America.
Except then he does, because he's just like, you know what? I told you to stop. Oh, no, he's like, let me go get my stuff. And they're walking him to the hostel or whatever that he stayed in.
They
and,
keep poking him with the
and
baseball
he,
bats.
and he's like, can you stop that? And the guy does it again. I asked you to stop that. And the third guy does it. And he's like, 3 strikes and you're out. And just starts whipping their ass. And swings them around and throws them into shit. And then starts like, he like uses super strength to like jump up onto this balcony.
He does.
And then the guys all run up after him. And then he basically just jumps back down and goes whack and like takes out the support beams of this thing. So it just falls and all these dudes collapse on each other and then he wins. But he managed to rip his shirt.
Yes.
In a manly fashion.
In a
In a
manly
very
fashion.
Captain Kirk fashion
Yeah.
of just, I have fought the Gorn.
Yeah.
Now. So, yeah, and that's when, like, Lady rolls back up and she's just like, oh, you have a spot of blood on your lip. Please come home with me and I will
Look
fix
at your
you.
red brown pecs. Please come home with me.
They
now.
are exposed.
Yeah.
I would like to rub brown. Come home with me.
Yeah.
So they go to her house, and he's, they do the iodine thing on the cut, and he's like, ow, it stings. And
I
she's
think
like,
it was peroxide, but yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, I have a shirt in the other room, my dead spouse shirt. And he's like, oh, yeah, sweet. And then just takes his shirt off and is just standing there in the kitchen like, check me out. And she's like, uh-huh. And he puts the shirt on, and he's like, oh, your kid's out doing chores. And she's like, I'm going to make lunch. And he's like, great, I'm going to go help your kid. So he goes out and gets information from the kid. The only notable thing about this scene is that you can clearly see the wireless mic in the kid's back pocket.
It's really bizarre. Like, when at first I was like, this is 79. Do we have Walkmans? I mean, he might have a portable radio.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no, that's the mic transmitter. Just clearly hanging out the back of his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But then the kid goes around the corner. Like, he's like, all right, I got to go do this. And she's like, all right, Red Brown, do you want a sandwich? He's like, yeah, I'll take a sandwich. And the kid goes around the corner and goes, oh, my God. And they run around the corner, and it's his pet sheep.
Yes.
It's dead.
Which has died.
of old age.
Dead.
Yes, dead sheep. And the mom's like, that's not your sheep, kid.
He's like, no, the leg was cut because he got caught on the fence last week.
And she's like, nah, not really.
Nah, he ran away.
And then spooky old man shows up.
It's one of the farmhands,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, and he's just like, what's going on here, kid? And the kid's like, that's my sheep. And he's like, roger that. and then leaves. And then
Got my SAG card. See you later.
at some point he calls Christopher Lee and is like, there's a guy here asking a million questions, and there's a dead old sheep here. Christopher Lee is like, we cannot let this
Yeah,
stand.
he's like, do you think he believes the child's story?
He's like, traveling artists are not this smart and inquisitive.
And I was like, hey, wait a minute.
You're not traveling, though.
I am not. So I
Yeah.
guess the smart artists stay in one place.
Yeah, you're more dribbling.
Yeah.
Smartest.
Eh.
Back and forth during all this, they're going back to Captain America headquarters or whatever, and at one point Christopher Lee has been like, well, no one's paying attention to me. Threaten the president. So someone from the president's office shows up and is just hanging out there doing stuff. And then
I just love that this guy is like, yeah, you scientists use all your science and
Yeah.
you get solid answers, and that's not how politics works.
yeah, it's much more complicated than that.
Yeah, and I'm like, This is interesting.
Yeah.
Fortuitous.
Yeah.
But so they've figured out the aging thing, and
I would like to point out that like Christopher Lee is asking for $1 billion.
yes, $1 billion.
Which-
That's
In
progressive.
1979.
Yeah.
That's like more money than was in the world.
But he's asking for that, and then they're all like, nah.
yeah.
Like we're not. We're standard answer. We're not dealing with terrorists. All
Yeah.
that. Like we're calling your bluff.
And what he does to prove that the stuff works is he sends them a leopard, or not a leopard. It's just
A lion?
Mountain lion.
Mountain
Yeah,
lion.
Yeah.
it's a.
They call it a lion, but yes, it's a mountain.
Mountain lion. I gotta go.
It's all the same thing.
Anyway, it's a big cat.
It's all the same cat.
Yeah, but they send a little baby one
Yeah.
that's been infected with whatever it is. And he says that a personal age.
Yeah, I don't even
what
think
is
we've
it?
established what the plot of this movie
Yeah,
is.
he's basically developed a serum that will age people quickly.
Well, he stole that scientist from that dude's lab. That scientist was trying to create a de-aging thing so that people wouldn't age. But in order to create something that makes you not age, you first have to make something that ages you way fast
He's
because
this dumb fucker.
dumb.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened. So that's what they have.
This Jurassic Park motherfucker.
They have like the ridiculous rapid aging death serum, and then they have the antidote, which just makes everything okay again. So
Yeah.
So was the antidote the thing you would take to stop the aging?
yes,
Okay.
the antidote
But yeah,
stops
it was-
the rapid aging bomb.
I seem to remember them saying it would age you like 38 days
30
every hour.
Yes.
So they said like, oh, but so in a couple weeks you'll be 70 years old.
Yeah.
Something like
Sure.
And they've sent them this cat. This
Yeah. Well, they sent
this
them that,
wild
and
cat.
also when they turned them down the $1 billion, Christopher Lee calls in a crop duster.
He does.
To the city of Portland
yes.
And it just
somewhere.
farts all
Portland
over.
somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe Oregon. And yeah, they crop dust Portland with
Well,
this
they
stuff.
they chemtrail that city.
Well, they chemtrail the word smile.
yes.
And to which everyone's like, oh, I haven't seen a Skywriter.
Yeah, including Reed Richards.
Yeah,
from the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie.
Alex Hyde, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. There's a lady out there who's just like, it says smile, and he's like, yeah, you should smile. That you'd be pretty, and then
It's the 70s, and I'm super patronizing.
and she's like, yeah, and then like they're like, I've never seen skywriting break up like that before, and that's exactly how it breaks up.
Yeah.
But it's just all the smoke just
Yeah.
sinks down to the city, and
I've
then
never
she's
seen
like,
skywriting poison all of us before.
Yeah, she's like, it smells good. Smell it.
real good. And then so this henchman lady, gets on the CB radio in the back of the plane and just is like, breaker, breaker, we just killed all you with rapid aging. Call your government and say we want the want the antidote. Bye.
pretty much.
So and then that's it for Portland until that gets resolved.
So they've got the cougar in the lab. It's happened in Portland, and then they're like, because we refused it the first time, it's now $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Yep.
Twice
And-
money that nobody has.
And
in
the
the
cougar's
world.
like full size now.
Yeah, it is also
There was a
full-size
kitten
now.
in the scene earlier.
But they've called
which
the
we should note, like Connie Selica is having to hold on to this cougar that's like,
yeah.
I mean,
it
it
is like, I am a ferocious beast.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Baby-
and she's
the
just
little
like, oh,
baby
you're
one, though,
cute.
the cub, yeah.
Yes. They eventually put it. Well, no, they have it out at one point. They must have drugged the fuck out of it on the table.
Oh, yeah.
But then they have to put it in a cage because it's pissed because
Yeah.
it's old. But Christopher Lee calls the president's henchman guy and says, "We've left you a tiny sample of antidote in your hotel room." So they go get it.
Yeah, and they try to science it, to replicate it, and they're like, we can't science it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, the only thing we could do is human trials. And they're like, should we do some animal trials first? They're like, no time.
No time. And
It's
like,
like-
meanwhile, the fucking cougar puma is in the background just rawr, and no one is like, test it on that thing. But it's just,
I'm guessing that they wouldn't like immediately see a result in the, to know.
I
whatever.
guess. But they're just like, okay, Connie Selica, you take this stuff and you go to Portland right now.
yeah. So she takes it on the plane.
She does take it on the
She gets
plane.
to Portland, and then they get to she gets to the hospital, and
She also takes it on the plane.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
she
she
shoots,
okay.
she, yeah,
That's
she
what I'm
shoots up
saying.
on
She
the
has-
plane. She has like an
Okay.
extended like Pulp Fiction montage.
Yeah,
of the goddamn
but
plane.
okay, it's not just a plane. It's fucking Air Force
that is
One
true. It
for
is Air
some
Force
reason.
One.
Completely empty except for Connie Selica, who's just chilling in a
then
seat.
it's not Air Force One because any plane the
That's-
president is
okay,
on
you're
is
right.
Air Force One.
That's fine.
That's true.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
but
It's-
anyway,
it's hair in Force One.
there it is.
But
It's a
she's
stretch, but you made it.
Air
She's
Horse
just-
one.
No, it's plane spotting.
she's just chilling on the plane and just now's the time to inject this, I guess, on the plane because that's the most scientific way to test this. I guess she's fine because she gets to this hospital where they're like, you won't believe this. We got a pair of twins.
Yep.
They're in perfect health except for this rapid aging disease that they've been bombed with.
And
This
she
is going to be
goes-
fantastic.
And these kids are her test case. Like she's literally.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, which one's uglier?
Yeah.
We'll give the serum to the pretty one.
Both of those kids were
Yeah,
ugly to
those
start
kid-
with.
those
Those are
kids
the
were-
ugliest fucking children
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
ever
so
seen.
she's like, all
Those
right.
kids
They
didn't
kinda
deserve
were.
to be saved because they were fucking ugly.
Yeah. And she's like, all right, let's test it on this one. It's going to be real cool because your twin is going to be a month older than you. Ha.
Yeah, your twin's gonna die and you're gonna live.
Yeah. So
Isn't that cool, kid?
it apparently works.
Yes.
And then they just kind of hang out for a little while because we got to
The
go
baby
back
that
to
got the injection is still ugly as fucking sin.
Yeah.
It is literally the ugliest baby.
But
Ugh.
so
Yeah.
back in Reb Brown world, so Christopher Lee has been like, no traveling artist is that smart. Get him. So all the cops take him in basically because, as they say, he assaulted 5 dudes.
Right.
And he's like, I assaulted 5 dudes, and the sheriff is like, yep.
Yep. Bye.
Shuts the door, and then so like the henchmen are told to go take him out.
Yeah, just straight up kill him.
So they come back and they walk to the cell and they're like, sheriff. And then they look out into the cell and the bars are bent for the window.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they look at him
it's
for.
it's the old school, like you have an actual window with just bars covering
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like it's the fucking old west.
Yes, no window. It's just an empty hole with, you know. And they're like, there's no marks on it. How did that happen? So they kind of peek out and they see Captain America ride by on his motorcycle. And they say, Captain America broke out Steve Rogers. They're escaping.
Maybe he's not really trying that hard. People are just fucking stupid in this world.
No, he does he even pulls that with the
Oh, yeah, he
farmer
does-
lady.
he
He
does
says I've
pull it
got a
with-
friend that
yeah.
really
Yeah.
looks out for me or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, he goes back to her house basically. That now he's free because this doesn't really set up an action sequence. I don't think, right? They just
No,
see
it does because he's Captain America now. This leads to the dam chase. The Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
The squadron Jeeps come after him.
yeah, okay.
So like he's being chased by 4 Jeeps, and they call in 4 more Jeeps coming the other way
Right,
on the
right.
highway.
Yep.
And they've got him trapped on a dam. So he just suicides off the dam. Like he does a wheelie and then continues to kind of wheelie sideways, and then this little toy model falls over the dam into the water. And you see him for like half a second in a pool somewhere, kind of swimming. And the dudes who were shooting at him are like, well, no
won't
one's going to
survive
survive that. And then Captain America is not in this movie. That's when like all this other stuff that we were talking
Yeah.
about happened. So like Captain America is gone for 20, 25 minutes while all that other shit happened. Eventually, the lady comes home and he's just standing in her kitchen. Like totally fine. Like she wouldn't have been surprised that he's totally fine.
Yeah.
But the audience is like, wait, what? Because we were like, this movie killed Captain America completely. And then he's kind of upset with her and is just like, you need to tell me everything. And then she does.
Well, he basically is like that was his sheep, right? And she's like, yes,
Yeah.
fine. They tested it here, or he starts with, did you hear what they did in Portland? He's like, and then she finally breaks down. I was like, they did it here first.
Yeah.
And then
he
she's like,
kind of
they
gets
cur-
all Saratoga Blade at her,
Yeah.
where he's just like, "You need to tell me the truth, lady," And she's like, "They tested on all of us." And for half a second, you're thinking, like, "Is she really an 8-year-old girl?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. That was my
Which
first thought.
She's actually the kid's sister or something.
Yeah, something like that. But it's like this movie has not yet set up any kind of romantic anything between the two of them. So it's the perfect TV show foil to get him to not stick around.
Right.
For her to just be an actual 8-year-old girl or whatever, but they don't go that direction.
They don't. But yeah, she basically confesses that, yeah, they gassed the whole town, but they cured the animals, but they didn't cure the people. Like
They just give them boosters.
Yeah, they were like giving them little tastes of slowing it down.
They get
So-
like 3.
So that's what the long line of the vet was
Yeah.
they were doling out the part of the vaccine.
right.
And so, they've got him on the hook, and that's what's making the scientist guy continue making the evil aging stuff because he's being told that they will kill everyone in the town.
Yeah.
So that's essentially late in the second act, we finally have the whole plot finally spelled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do a bunch of bullshit where it's just like, all right, we need to figure out where the doctor goes to get the drugs, and then they just like count his odometer, and he takes plant samples from his tire, and they figure out basically that
We
he's
were like, this weed, it's from this area.
Yeah.
And then he went 42 or 43 miles.
yeah.
And also, is that new tar I smell in the tire? Oh, where are they patching the road? And she's like, over here. And he's like, it's got to be the prison.
Yeah. And she's like, well, they just got a new warden. He's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And his plan is go to the prison,
Uh-huh.
which we see that he watches the vet guy go in to get the supplies.
He does.
And then
times it on his
yeah,
watch.
yeah, pulls out the stopwatch. Is like, I have 12 seconds. So Captain America bikes through the front gate of the prison, which sets off.
First of all, it's surprising to see the Captain America bike because that
Yeah.
thing fell off a
it did.
goddamn dam.
Yeah, it fell a damn long ways.
But yeah, so he explodes out of the back of the van again, and it's just like, oh, I guess the bike's okay.
Yep. Or he had another one. Who knows? But yeah,
We don't know how many he's got in the back of that van.
That's true. We never see the actual back of that van.
He's just a bike dispenser.
Yeah.
It's like a Pez dispenser. Just,
The doors open and it shoots out a bike.
That's why it has to explode out of the van. It's a new bike every single time.
Yeah, it just
Right.
But yeah, he not only does he explode through the front gate of the prison, which sets they set off every alarm. Then he drives through the inside.
Yeah.
the first alarm is a fucking steam whistle.
It is. Yeah.
Woo! Yes, quitting time, everybody.
And then it fades into a klaxon and several other beeping things. Like, it's literally every alarm. It's the most obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he drives his these are small, not what is ADA approved hallways. Like these are 70s tiny ass little hallways where
Yeah,
barely two people could
because
go through.
When Christopher Lee was walking down the hallway at the beginning, he had to squeeze by the cameraman.
Yeah.
That's how big these hallways are. They're not even big enough for two people.
Right.
And there's this dude driving a motorcycle down these
Like
hallways.
full speed, which I was kind of starting to question, why are there no guards? All the alarms are going off, and where are the guards?
Oh, you never see guards or prisoners at this prison. Whatever this place is, you never. I kept
There are
expecting
two. Yeah, but
Or
they're
three.
they're
Yeah.
just on the perimeter wall. That's it. There's nobody inside.
But I kept figuring they were going to be we've got this army of prisoners who will fight Captain America, open all the cells, and now here come a bunch of dudes to fight Captain America. No, what the actual plan is that Christopher Lee tells his henchmen, go spray the dogs with the rapid aging thing so that they get super angry and super adulty. And then
I don't get that. I don't get how that's supposed to work.
If they had sprayed puppies, it would be one thing.
Yeah.
But they just have mean Dobermans in cages, and this guy sprays them and opens the cages, and then
I mean, just getting sprayed in the face would make me annoyed, but maybe not frothingly violent.
But then Captain America goes into Christopher Lee's office and is like, "Huh, he's not here," and he just drives down another wing.
He looks at a map.
Oh, okay, yeah, he looks
And
at
then
at
he's
the
able to
prison map
figure
and
out
just
everything.
goes, "Over here. That's where
where
I'll
the
go."
lab will be.
So he goes over there, and that's where the dogs are, and the dogs attack Captain America.
Oh yeah, they're like, we smell Heathcliff.
Yeah.
And they're jumping all over him.
we want to play, and he fends them off with a shield for a little bit.
That shield, by the way, gets scratched to shit in this scene.
Yeah,
sure does.
it bends and folds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that. I was like, oh, that shield's not gonna make it. But yeah,
he just closes the door behind the dogs, and it's like, all right, well, we're done with that.
I think Reb Brown may be actually scared of dogs because he didn't look very comfortable in this scene. It was not.
I would not be comfortable. Those dogs were not happy.
They were pissed
They
and
were
old.
They were big. Yeah, they were big dogs.
Yeah.
And they were jumping all up on him, but he looked like he was not prepared for this scene.
Yeah.
So he runs back outside, and this
Well,
is,
he finds the
finds the scientist guy. Yeah, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they've taken all the stuff, and he's like, quick after that, or he sees on the monitor, or they actually say Warden so and so is leaving the prison.
Yeah,
They
they
announce
announce it to everyone.
Warden so and so has left the prison, and then immediately after that, they're like, Captain America is in Wing A.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is this isn't Civil War. Captain America is a freaking criminal in this world. They're like, Captain America's in the prison, murder on sight.
Right.
So when he goes back outside, the couple of guards that are actually on the wall of the prison start shooting at him.
Yes.
And we see that he has stashed his bike behind this crane,
Behind a
behind
fucking pallet.
Yeah, behind a pallet.
He just propped up a pallet in front of it. You can still see the fucking America
Yeah.
bike, everything all over the place, and he's just like, I'm gonna go get my bike.
But he starts to ride it just a little bit, and then sees Christopher Lee leaving on the other side of the prison somehow, and walks over to the wall with the bike, picks the bike up and goes whoop, and just throws it up onto the gangway of this wall. And then does super reverse shot, jump up onto this wall, jump on the bike, and start riding it on this tiny little gangway thing that they have on this wall here. Yeah,
And they think that they've got him.
They do.
But they don't.
No, because
because
he air boosts off the side of the prison onto a sweet jump.
He does.
And then hits a button that turns his bike into a glider.
Into a fucking hang glider.
A hang
like
glider.
it's an Inspector Gadget ass fucking hang glider.
It is.
We have an unfolding sequence, and it's connected to the bike.
And then be prepared for 20 minutes of
Yep.
this goddamn
Which
hang
he
glider.
rides a hang glider for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And slowly stalks Christopher Lee, who is driving away in a station wagon.
Well, I could see him coming. He was a new sensation.
This is an intense scene.
It sure is. The music tells you it is.
Intense.
The music is very loud, by
It
the
is.
way.
They maintain this intensity for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it goes on a
of
very
this
long
glider
time. Eventually,
Sailing along,
following.
following this station wagon.
Yeah, and eventually Captain America decides to land 2 miles behind Christopher Lee, even though he was hovering over him at one point.
And can't catch up with this fucking, like, Chevy
No,
Caprice.
Fucking
like
garbage
classic-
Chevy.
Yeah.
never catches up to him until Christopher Lee literally comes to a barrier where there is no more road, and hops out and runs off into the woods.
I like that he gives it a pretty good tap, too. Like, he doesn't,
Oh, yeah.
he doesn't really stop the car. He's just like, bang.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, I can't go any further.
And
so
then just takes
he's
off into the
got
woods.
so he ran away. He packed up all of the antidote and all of the rapid aging vials, and he's just got a big old briefcase, and he's got an M16, and he's just running through the woods.
Yep.
And Captain America eventually gets there and gives chase and starts doing he has Captain America radar or whatever, and just yells
they
out.
give him a
super
spider
hearing.
sense.
Yeah, he has this. A noise happens whenever he's Captain Americaning,
Yes.
and sometimes it just goes off, and you're like, "Wait, what did he do?" It goes off like when he jumps or when he punches somebody, but it also will just go off when he's looking, and you're like, "What's he seeing?"
It's a super hearing or supervision.
Something. But he eventually
What's
just
your L5C, Captain America?
he just yells out to Christopher Lee. He's like, you're 20 yards north and 30 yards west of me, so there's no use running. I know exactly where you are." And Christopher Lee just takes a couple steps and just like,
And then this is like the dumbest, like previous, it was also dumb throwing the bike up onto the wall of the prison, but it was hilarious. This is like they walk out, they're both facing each other. Christopher Lee hasn't taken a single shot.
no,
despite
he did. He started taking shots at first,
Does
and
he?
Captain
Okay.
America goes whoop 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 and
Yeah.
runs off, and you're like, the fuck is he going?
Yeah.
But then they're both in a clearing, and
Yeah, and then he throws his shield, does the intentionally miss thing again, and then it just takes a long ass time. All of which time Christopher Lee has the gun trained on him with no shield, and then it comes back boomerang style, and he goes dodge, and it just
I wouldn't call it a dodge. He just kind of leans gingerly.
but like slow ass dodge, and then
Yeah.
this thing just frisbee flops at his feet, and he's like, "You didn't think a general that's fought in the jungle would fall for those boomerang shenanigans or something like that?"
Yes.
And he's just like, "Oh, I guess not."
Yeah.
And he's
It's
like,
it's still over.
he's like, "Oh, is it?" And then goes to take one final shot, to which he sort of clumsily kicks the shield back up with his foot. That was
Yeah.
that, and then blocks the shot. And apparently that was the last shot in the gun, because he's just like M16.
He just throws it away.
Yeah.
Well, he did. To be fair, he had one of those early like tiny magazines in it, and he did
Like
he
Reader's
did reload.
Digest?
Yes. Yeah, it's about Reader's Digest size. Maybe more like Archie comics. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he did reload, and so maybe his like 5 shots or whatever were all those magazines could handle.
He was done. I mean, it was just,
But he did toss it aside.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Christopher Lee opens up the suitcase.
Slowly, like
Yeah, he's just like, hang on a
he's
second.
an old man. I mean, he's not an old man.
No.
But Captain America could have just run over there and fucking chucked him with his shield.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nope.
But so he just grabs one of the vials and he's just like, suck on this, Captain America.
Yep.
Eat grenades, stupid.
Goes to throw it, and Captain America throws
His
the
shield, which shatters it in midair,
and it hits.
to which it just douses
Yeah, he just
Christopher
gets-
Lee in the face.
Yeah.
And he gets this look like, "You have dishonored me."
and he's
I've been moistened by
Yeah.
my own petards.
and then he's like, oh hell no, and attacks Captain America and starts choking him. But that lasts for about 4 seconds because he immediately gets arthritis because he's 110 years old,
Yep.
and he's just he's just
And his hair gets white,
Yeah.
and he gets wrinkly skin makeup.
Yep.
and he eventually collapses, and Captain America just kind of kicks him over with his foot, and it's a 100-year-old man, And he's like,
Yep.
all right then.
Mm-hmm.
The end. And so then, like, this helicopter that had a henchman and it was coming to pick up Christopher Lee lands, and Captain America is just standing there with the gun in one hand. He's just like, yeah.
Your boss is old, probably dead now.
yeah, he ain't coming.
He said he died of old age waiting for you.
Waiting for him.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Yeah. And then just like fade away from that to Captain America, one of his buddies, and the Captain America bike in a helicopter. And they're just flying over Portland, and they're like, we don't have time to administer this to every single person. Just dump it.
Yeah. Hope they got the message.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hope the mayor got the message
I hope they
out.
all get the message. Just go about your lives
Yeah.
as we douse you with this
Just
stuff
do whatever.
that may or
We're-
may not get to you.
We're just going to spill this dust.
Stand under these chemtrails, suspicious Portlandians.
Yes. It'll be fine. And they dump the stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes back to the lady.
Yep. And I guess they mentioned that at some point that what he got on him only aged him a month.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're like, small price to pay for your country, eh, Steve? And he's like, ha, yeah, America. And then he goes back to the lady and her kid, and he's sketching her while she rides around on a horse. And he gives the kid a dog. And the kid's like, I didn't want a dog. Okay, thanks anyway. And then...
Well, first off, he goes like...
I don't want any more fucking pets, Captain America. And Captain America's like, here's a pet.
The first thing he does, he's like, hey, did you find a new pet after, you're... And he's like, too soon, Steve.
yeah. Not ready, Steve.
Death too soon, Steve.
Well, what about this dog I've got for you? And he's like, all right.
Doesn't he know you never give a pet as a gift?
No.
Ever.
He's never coming back here. He's never coming back here. But yeah,
he sentenced that dog to death.
yeah, pretty much.
That mom's gonna put that dog to sleep.
Where'd he
She'd be
get the
like, you don't
dog
need
from?"
a fucking dog.
Like, why didn't you just give him the cat?
They probably de-aged the dogs at the prison.
No, those
knows?
dogs were dead.
No,
They got sprayed in the face with that stuff.
no, they're fine.
they were dead.
Trust me, they got
Dead
managed.
in minutes.
Those
Nah.
those dogs
Captain
were
America
dead
2,
dogs.
dead in minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so he gets a dog that's going to be dead in 2 seconds. And then he's just like, yep, totally sketching your mom. The end. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Credits.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Captain America 2.
Mm-hmm.
Death too soon. It's a thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no Stargrove.
No.
Theme
music's
song
pretty good,
from the
though.
first one is back.
Yep. I like it.
This music is...
It's constant.
It's constant. It's loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's also slightly distorted, like they cranked the gain up a little bit too far, and it was starting to crackle out.
That's the transfer, I guarantee it.
It's something, but it's just it's too much.
I don't know. There's a lot of boo.
Yeah,
There is.
the music composition itself is fine,
Uh-huh.
but man, is it obnoxious, like level wise. It's just
That's just the
it's,
age.
it's so much. Yeah, I know. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, actual ratings.
Yep.
One bag.
Okay.
I don't like it.
I don't know.
It's boring. It's just the problem I had with the other one. It's fucking boring. So, yeah. And at least Reb Brown is better in this one. In the first one, it was like he didn't even want to be Captain America. He was like the opposite of everything Captain America actually is. Mm-hmm. He was just like, I don't
He
know.
had to be talked into it.
Yeah, they had to like talk him into being Captain America. It's like, fuck you, dude. You're supposed to be Captain America. But
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
Captain America Blade.
I mean, the only thing that I really enjoyed was him chucking the bike up onto the top of the railing, and that's not much. And you've probably seen that GIF at some point somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I know I had seen that somewhere, and I couldn't remember where.
Is
but
that Captain America lore? Is that canon?
what?
The hang glider bike?
I doubt it.
Oh.
Nothing about this is.
Well, I didn't know.
What?
I didn't know if that
No.
was something that he busted
No,
out.
this
in the
is like
comics.
nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
In fact, actually, the cool Captain America doesn't even use fucking parachutes. He's just like,
He just falls
yeah.
out of the sky.
Well, he pretty much is like, I got this shield. I'm just gonna break my fall with it.
Hero landing.
Just fucking go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Superhero
Okay.
landing.
But anyway, yeah, and that hang glider thing, like, I fell asleep, I had a few dreams, and then I woke up, and the hang glider thing was still going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But one bag, just, I didn't enjoy this at all.
All right.
I'll go.
I don't know if I'm ready yet.
I can go.
Go ahead.
I don't have much of a differing opinion. I will just give it 1 Jocks because I don't know. I find both these movies like charming, despite. I mean, like I'm a big Captain America nerd, and I don't care. Like I guess I'm just I must just be missing that gene that gives a fuck if like somebody's adaptation is really dumb.
Right.
Like I mean, to me, there's fundamental flaws, and then there's just like taking a little leeway with the character. Like, you know, I don't need it verbatim. Like, there's a difference between like having Superman kill, like that's fundamentally wrong, or having vampires that don't have any vampire weaknesses. You know, like these are fundamentally wrong things. But like if you just do something slightly wacky with the character, but kind of keep the basics, I don't really give a shit. And these movies are just dumb and stupid 70s. And I mean, like, even if it had nothing to do with Captain America, which it barely does, but I mean, like, even, you know, just this aesthetic and stuff is fascinating to me. Like, this could just be a dumb episode of the A-Team, take out Captain America, and I'd be fine with it. You know?
The hang glider music was very A-teamy.
Yeah,
Like, I
it
just
really
kept
was.
waiting for that van to fly into the screen. So,
It was Mike Post.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have any, like, I think the first one is more fun than this one, despite this one now adding Christopher Lee, which is a better bonus. It's just they never really never let him get like full on villainy.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
He gets one little mini speech,
yeah.
kind
But
of thing.
it's just like you didn't realize what you had with Christopher Lee.
yeah.
You didn't let him do anything.
But
So,
yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, it's not a strong recommendation. I just like,
yeah.
I would say like, it's worth watching if, you know, as a curiosity.
Well, I agree with you on the 1 Jocks. It's fine. I mean, you know, it's. I kind of vaguely remember the first one being a little better, mainly because like the first time he drives that motorcycle out of the van,
It's
you're like, oh
pretty
my
fun.
god, fuck yes. And then in this one, he does it 3 times. You're like, okay, we've seen that. He does launch a hang glider out of it, which is new, but then that goes on for 20 minutes, as we established.
Yeah, a little too long.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible waste of Christopher Lee. He doesn't do anything really cool to justify him being in this. It's just that part could have been played by anybody. So, I don't know. But for what it is, it's fine. 1 Jocks.
Yeah, I don't know where I am, like 1 Jocks or 1 Bags on this. I'm kind of at that point where I'd like to give it a 0. But I think because you can get the DVD for like $3, you might as well watch the second one. So I guess I'll give it 8 Jocks with like an asterisk were I able to score it lower, but also not quite that low. I'd rather just go super neutral on this one. It's really weird. I think they could. Feels like it just got really quiet in here. Did I go partially deaf?
We're okay.
Okay,
Everything's fine.
it's weird.
We don't have the fan on.
Okay, might be in.
Spooky ghost.
But I think they could. I mean, you could cut out 5 minutes of driving scene, 5 minutes of hang glider. You could cut a lot of 5 minutes out of this movie and make it like a strong 60-minute. I don't know how long it was, but you could make it a strong short sort of thing, made for TV movie kind of length, and it would be fine. It would be worthy of an honest Jocks or maybe 2, but it just drags a bit. So I mean, if you're putting that Captain America 1 DVD in, if you got the time, I guess might as well watch this. So 1 Jocks.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt you. It's kitschy and amusing.
That's gonna go on the box.
It's not going to hurt
It
you.
won't hurt you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, let's take a break, shall we?
Let's.
Yeah. First break of the new season.
Yeah. New season break.
How are we going to spend it?
By not doing much because it's already late.
Yeah.
Getting on to the
Hey, that was our first not hour-long first half in forever. Good sign, guys. Keep it
Yeah.
up. Season
Way
2,
to start
efficient.
Season 2 strong.
Yeah.
So second half.
Right.
I have one movie, but I don't really have to talk about it. We can skip it.
I got 2.
I got one quick thing, and we got an email.
I got 2 movies, and I want to very briefly mention, sort of rewatching one.
Oh.
Just very briefly.
Yeah, I can mention that too.
Okay.
But yeah, and other than that, I have one other thing.
Okay. You nothing? Zilch? And Zilch or
Chuck
sort of maybe.
Yeah, I can give you probably 3 minutes on
Chuck was dealing with a dead vehicle.
the
All right.
movie.
Dead vehicle fine. Alive Chuck better.
Yeah, I agree.
Good job continuing to live, Chuck.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So should we do this? Just get it going.
Yeah,
Get
sure.
it going.
Do it.
All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
Hey.
BMFcast.
Season
Yeah.
2, Episode 1, Half 2.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Uh-huh.
I got a couple newish movies. Actually, they're both 2017 movies now I think about it, to talk about.
Welcome to 2017.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck. Okay, I'll tell. I don't like to. I don't like to end negatively, so I will start with the first one.
Okay.
Negative is the wrong word, but I watched 2017's The House, the Will Ferrell, Amy.
Oh,
Poehler-
right,
Amy
yeah.
Poehler
Oh,
thing that just
the
kind of
casino one.
just kind of trickled out into
Yes.
existence.
They're white people, and they open a casino in their basement.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yes.
They open a basement in their casino.
Like, all right.
Okay.
So I mean, there's comedies are weird these days. Like, I just mean, like, in general, like, there are a whole bunch of comedies that come out, and you watch them, and you're like, while you're watching them, you're like, haha, or that scene's really funny, and then it just disappears from your brain like seconds later. Like, I in the last like 3 years, I don't know what is going on. They're just pumping out, and it's like so many of these also have the same people in them. Like, there's just like a farm of people that, like, Gary Sanchez or whatever, these people know each other, and it's like they just all show up for the same parties every single time. And this is not to say like this one's any better or worse or anything than any of those. It's just like when it's all over, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I mean, I would still say it's worth your time if you like the sort of raunchy comedies. I mean, not raunchy, like, just like, you know, we're going to say fuck a whole lot and stuff like that, you know, like, yeah, like, it's weird because, you know, it's hard to review comedy, but it's just like, there is at least 1 or 2 scenes that I thought were legitimately funny, like, and a couple jokes that were pretty damn funny. It's just like,
So it's like Get Hard.
yeah, yeah, pretty much like on the, almost the exact same level.
It's like 2 really solid, just, oh, man, that scene.
Yeah,
and then the
that
rest of
is-
it's like,
I mean, it's funny because, like, Amy Poehler's, like, flirted around with this kind of raunchy ass comedy, but I mean, there's still something sort of immensely satisfying about seeing, you know, goody goody Leslie Knope just saying "motherfucker," you know, like,
Right.
It's just like there's still something kind of funny just because she kind of has that slightly more wholesome thing going on.
Yes.
For the most part, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it's all right.
I think so much of that stems from like comedies not really being written anymore, just outlined and then improvised.
Well, I
it's
mean,
like
yeah,
funny people will come in and make up the jokes.
yeah. Like, here's our basic plot. Like, you know, we're trying to send our. Here's the plot of the movie. Essentially, is like we're trying to send our daughter to college. Our, you know, super creepy like township thing has a scholarship program, which she was pretty much like a shoo-in for getting. And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna put in this mega pool and everything, so we don't have any money for the scholarship. So sorry. And so, like, they never actually like, banked on having the money for college or anything anyway. So they cook up this scheme to like open a casino because they have this other friend. What's his face? Mantzoukas? How you Jason Mantzoukas?
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, like he's like a gambling addict guy, and he's like, man, like if only we were a casino, the house wins all the time. And they're like, ah, that's half the movie title.
Great. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so like, you know, they start a casino and whatnot, but for good purposes, like to send their daughter to college and stuff. But I don't
See,
know.
I think that it's weird because you look at the Adam McKay, Will Ferrell movies, and you're like, those aren't big ideas. Those are simple ideas just crammed with jokes. All the rest of Will Ferrell movies are like this really big, dumb idea that's like, that idea is dumb, and then it's got an uphill battle because you're like, the premise of this movie is dumb. Like, this does,
Actually, it's funny because I was actually, the way the movie plays out, maybe I'm not explaining correctly, I was thinking the base plot is stronger than the comedy sometimes.
Okay.
Because, like, the motivations of everybody involved, because there's also, like, a Weasley city councilman type thing who's, like,
Sure.
yeah, there's additional, like, stuff that happens, and,
Okay.
vendettas and things going on, but, like, it's not, I mean, I'm not saying it's deep, it's just, like, it felt, like, overwritten for the type of, shit dick titty motherfucker thing. It was kind of like jokes that were going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like these things where it's like, we're supposed to be responsible adults and, let's drink and have the party montage and say fuck a lot.
Okay.
Whatever. I want to stop talking about this.
Okay, cool.
It's all right.
You're allowed to stop talking about it.
The other movie I want to talk about is, it's a weird thing. Because, like, when I started up, I was like, am I seeing this right? I'll tell you what I watched. I watched The Hitman's Bodyguard, the Ryan Reynolds, Sam Jackson thing.
Yeah,
You watch what?
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
that was.
Oh,
out
I
for
thought
a
you
week.
said the Hitman's Mario Kart, and I was confused as shit.
Man.
That's 2 video games.
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Okay.
Watch out for the blue shell.
It's produced and created by Netflix and got a theatrical release and isn't on Netflix.
Weird.
Interesting.
Like, and it's like they're going the traditional, like, release way with a Netflix thing, and I'm kind of like, but
Maybe when it...
our money, like, let's, like,
Well-
we're paying you to make these things. Like, I don't know. It's just it's a
Well,
strange thing.
To be fair, they did just borrow a shitload of money to make stuff.
I know,
so
just like it's like
it's not just our money.
it had
Trust
a
me,
little-
they're making a bunch of stuff just for Netflix.
You know what I mean? It's just,
No, I do.
It's a little strange because, like, it had sort of like an uphill battle because I was like, but, like, if it just feels like you're double charging me for a thing that you made that's supposed to be part of the things you make. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't know this going in. I just watched it. However, I will say I think this is actually a fantastic little movie. Like, there's so much going on in it that is so much better than it has any right to be for what it is.
Okay.
It's a mismatched buddy comedy kind of thing, but with, like, some actually, like, really well thought out action and like, just scene construction and things like that. Like, things we were complaining about in Captain America, just, like, there's, like, really good action geography and coordination and things like that for this being what ultimately is, like, a Netflix thing. Like, there's still a couple shots where it's like, oh, yeah, there's that Netflix green screen look.
Yeah.
But, like, it's really well made. It's pretty funny, and, like, it actually works pretty well as, like, a spy intrigue. You don't really know everything that's involved by the time it's all over. And my favorite bits about it, like, Selma Hayek is in it, and she
Go on, yes.
yeah, she plays Samuel L. Jackson's wife, girlfriend. I don't know if they ever actually officially established what their relationship is.
That's fine.
Other than fucked up.
Okay.
Okay.
But, like, she mostly has scenes not with anybody else because she's, like, in prison most of the time, and she is just unhinged, like, angry. Like, it's kind of
Okay.
awesome.
All right.
And Gary Oldman is in it as well,
What?
playing the bad guy, and he gets to fucking Gary Oldman villain the shit out of it. And
Okay.
it was like,
I'm in.
thank you. Thank you for
I
finally
honestly-
going back to old school Gary Oldman.
I
Like,
don't think he was in any of the commercials.
I had no idea until you said that he was in this movie.
yeah, like, I mean, when he shows up and, like, at first he's a little bit subdued and he's, like, just doing accents, kind of, like, sort of Russian at first, and then it just morphs into, like, some Peter Storm era, like, I don't know where you're from kind of thing.
All right.
But he just starts getting angrier and speechifying and Gary Oldman villaining, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not an awesome movie. It's just there's a whole lot of good in it, and it's, like I said, it was an uphill battle, but it ultimately won because, like, I was like, at first I was like, Netflix, why am I not seeing this on my Netflix, and all that, but I was like, you know what, fine, I've got this, it's paid for, I'm going to watch this, like.
It looked like it had a lot of production companies. So maybe Netflix was one of the partial funders, and then they were like, "This will stream exclusively on Netflix."
I'm almost wondering if it was more put out as content because Netflix is big in other countries too, and I'm thinking like maybe it was a showpiece for somewhere else.
It might have been like one of the things that said Netflix and then had Japan in parentheses. Maybe it premiered.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Japanese
like
Netflix
they're
or
like,
something like that.
We'll give them a big thing. Like we'll delay Stranger Things there or whatever, and they get a big thing, and then we get this delayed. Who knows what kind of weird thing, but ultimately it's good, and I'm sure eventually it comes to Netflix and resides there for a very long time. But I'd say it's kind of worth seeking out possibly earlier because I thought it was surprisingly damn good.
I want to see it now.
Yeah,
Yeah, sounds interesting.
but yeah, somebody else got a movie?
Yeah, I have a movie. 2015's Kung Fu Jungle or Kung Fu Killer, depending on which locale you're watching it. It's a Donnie Yen Kung Fu movie, just a fairly simple one. I don't know. I've just been craving a Kung Fu movie lately, and I was finishing up some cleaning at the house, and I was like, I'm going to relax before I go to bed with a movie about people getting their faces kicked in. And I love Donnie Yen stuff, so it came up. I think it might have been on my Netflix queue, which is weird.
Wait, they still have those?
Yeah, you still have an instant.
It's
queue.
called My List now.
My List.
Oh.
Yeah,
My list.
my list. So I went ahead and ticked it off my list, and
Ticking intensifies.
yes, tick in the face. I would say skip it.
Oh.
If you're, if you're a huge completionist fan of Donnie Yen, then sure, I guess you're going to watch it anyway. But a little bit lackluster in the story. It looks nice because it's hard to make a movie that looks bad these days. But it looks nice. The acting is a little bit weird. I don't know what the deal is. I mean,
Dubbed or subbed?
I watched it subbed because I'm not a monster.
All right, then.
But no, pretty much any foreign language movie, if I'm watching it myself, I'm going to watch it subbed because I can read.
Okay.
Although I will say there is a weird thing that happens with the subtitles, and that is sometimes in this particular movie, they kind of go by fast, which I have never really experienced in another subtitled movie.
I think we had a problem like that on Netflix once. Where
I was going to say, I mean...
They would hitch, and then they would have to catch up, and
Yeah.
I think that came up once.
It wasn't... There weren't any, hitches. It just seemed like when there is... That's what it was. It was the fan on that thing stopping. It just seemed like whenever somebody was saying more than two sentences, like it would go through 3 pages or 3 pages of subtitles, and the second one would go by really fast for some reason. It was weird. But the fights are just okay. The plot feels like it skips forward somewhere around the, end of the second act. It feels like they just kind of like, all right, well, we were going to do all the rest of this, but we're just going to skip to the end. And they just skip to the end and have the kind of big final fight. And I don't know. It's just okay. I think it's the first time I've been disappointed by a Donnie Yen film. And maybe my expectations were cranked up because I was excited for a Kung Fu movie. But it's just okay. It's just okay. Donnie Yen still, that guy can still go, for sure. But it was just kind of a lackluster movie. So I would say skip it. That's all.
Fair enough.
That's a shame.
Yeah, kind of a bummer. But there are 100 other Donnie Yen movies in the last 3 years.
Yeah, that guy works. So,
Yeah.
what do we got now?
So, speaking of things you shouldn't skip,
Yeah.
The season finale of Nathan For You was called Finding Francis, which Nathan For You is the show where this guy who's very socially awkward helps small businesses market themselves because he has a business degree from a Canadian school and he did average. So he's like,
Okay.
it's very much it's on Comedy Central, so it's very much a cringe comedy type thing. And there's always this question of how much of it's real and how much isn't. But at one point in one of the earlier seasons, he had this guy that was a Bill Gates impersonator that helped open a computer store for a local person. And when they did the commentary track for the DVD, this guy kept talking about like, oh, this girl he should have married. And this guy's like, in his mid 70s. He's like, oh yeah, there's this one girl I should have married and I never did. And like, he wouldn't stop talking about it. And apparently this guy would show up at their office throughout seasons and just like show up and hang out in the office.
Oh,
The
good.
Bill Gates impersonator would just show up.
Yeah, he'd just show
Okay.
up. And eventually they decide they're going to find this Francis that he keeps talking about so that he can reunite the two of them. And it goes places. I mean, normally the show's only half an hour.
Yeah.
And they extended it to 2 hours. Like it's like a full, basically feature-length documentary about what happens with this guy, and it becomes this thing that's not only just like attempting to find out how to find her, like how to track her down, because all they have basically is her first name, because they know that she had gotten married at some point, so her name would be changed, and so they go to his hometown to find all this information about her, and just like the thing about Nathan For You is that they do really weird, like he comes like, because of the purpose of the show, he pushes things in really weird places. So like they decide they're going to have a 57th year reunion to see if they can entice her to come to the thing.
Okay, sure.
So they stage this, and then they do dumb stuff like that. And the show has always had these sort of like really dumb, stupid promotional things. Like they got known for the dumb Starbucks. I think it was in season 2. It was basically, and they got around copyright law for Starbucks by saying it was an art installation. But it was basically they built their own Starbucks with all like Starbucks branding and everything, except they wrote "dumb" in front of everything that said Starbucks.
Okay.
So that was like the episode that I first saw him on.
Okay.
But anyway, so he comes up with really dumb ideas, but eventually there's a point where he realizes that like maybe reuniting this guy with her isn't a good idea. Because, what if she's still married? Like, just there, and you learn more about this guy, Bill, that, maybe he's not telling the entire truth about how the relationship ended. And yeah, it became one of the most compelling things I've watched in a very, very long time. Because the stakes are basically like, okay, this guy, 78 years old, he never got married, he never had kids. He regrets this relationship he had 60 years ago. And it becomes about like how high the stakes are for him. And also Nathan realizing a lot of himself in this guy as well. Because this guy focused on his career his whole life and never, made connections with people. And it kind of becomes this meta commentary on Nathan himself, the guy who makes the show, because he's very much a part of it. He's always like, he's very much a character. He's not like a behind the scenes director type dude.
Right. He's
like front and center through all of it. But it is it is well worth seeing. If you go on the Comedy Central app, I don't know if it's still free or not but if you have a cable subscription, you can at least pull it up there. You'll have ads on it, but yeah, it is the way that thing ends is just amazing. Like the last 20 minutes of that is just, there's an intensity that happens, and there's also a lot of like, it becomes a story about regret and the rose-colored glasses that we wear when we really get fed up in nostalgia, and just all that sort of stuff. It is really, really great. And it was but it was Nathan For You. The episode's called Finding Francis.
Okay.
And yeah, it's about an hour and a half long, but it is well worth it. And it helps if you've seen other episodes of the show, because it's not a typical episode of that show. And they're saying it might be the series finale. They're not sure, because there was something that was mentioned. When he does voiceovers, he narrates the show, and the closed captions were different for one of the things, where he basically says, is this old guy just looking for some kind of weird adventure, or You know, and am I just a TV guy who's done 4 seasons of a show and is just kind of sick of doing it? Is what it said in the closed captions, but what he's saying in the voiceover was very different. So it's kind of been left. But it's one of those things where like you just don't know how much of it is what's genuinely playing out and how much of it is kind of staged reality stuff where you know he's pushing in a certain direction. But there's definitely stuff in there that you can tell like you can't fake that. like just the way these people are acting is you just can't. You can't have actors doing this stuff. It's you know those parts are real. So it's super compelling. It's really well worth watching. So find it on Comedy Central, cc.com.
Cool.
Oh, that's an easy website.
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd they get that?
I don't know. Just like AMC TV is no longer, it's just AMC.com.
Oh, good
yeah.
for them.
Yeah, they finally bought it.
All right.
Who knew?
They need AMC.TV.
Would have thought the theater chain would have that before.
Oh, they're AMCtheaters.com.
Yep.
Well, I'm just saying they were around
Yeah.
before AMC, the channel. Anyway.
Yeah.
Weird.
But anyway, it's definitely worth watching. Something else worth watching. Watch Baby Driver with my wife because
Yes.
I had to show it to her,
Okay.
and she loved it. So we're still married.
That's
Nice.
good news.
That was good.
Divorce averted.
Well, it's always hard when it's like a movie that I really love, that really clicks with me because I'm always gonna be like,
Am I going to love this more than my wife after she sees it?
well, and it's also like, is she just gonna fall asleep or you know, or just
Yeah.
like because like Big Lebowski, she was asleep in like 20 minutes, and I'm like, fuck you, wake up. What the fuck's wrong with you?
That always happens when it's like
Fuck you.
something you really like.
I was angry.
Jesus.
I was legitimately angry. That
I mean,
night.
I've
I
been
was
there.
Like, I was like, are you asleep? She's like, no, I'm up. I'm like,
Fuck you. Wake
Never
up.
mind.
That's
Turn
what I
it
did.
off.
I'm like, it's goddamn 8 o'clock. Wake the fuck up.
Here, do this cocaine.
Yeah. Taking some no-dos when we're watching Big Lebowski. But no, but she absolutely loved it. So, crisis averted there.
Thank goodness. It's always tough when it's somebody you care about or whatever, or a good friend, and some piece of art/media that you really like, and you're like, I'm gonna show this to you. It's gonna be good. You're gonna love it. And then that split second in between, they've finished watching it or listening to it, and when they tell you their opinion, it just. That split second lasts for like hours, weeks. And then when they don't like it, it just crushes you.
Yeah.
And then you cut them out of your life because they're a garbage person.
Yep. Generally speaking.
Unless they're your wife, I guess.
Yeah.
Eh.
I guess.
So yeah, I did a little rewatching of Baby Driver, sort of. I watched it twice with the 2 commentary tracks that are on there.
Nice.
Yeah, they're very. It's weird. Edgar Wright is in both of them. One of them is him solo, and one of them is him with
Bill Pope.
Bill Pope. Yeah, I was like Pope. What's his first name?
Pope Bill.
Yeah, Pope Bill, the director of photography on it, and it's strange that he's part of both commentaries, but they have a very different feel to them. I don't love either commentary track because I feel like there was still things I wanted to know that they didn't really discuss, and I would definitely recommend the one where he's got Bill Pope with him, just because I think more information is imparted based on the conversational nature and somebody going like, "Oh, remember this?" and then "Oh, I remember," but no, like so like just sparking conversation that wasn't on his own. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Let me tell you this little story and whatnot.
As someone who did a solo podcast for a while, and wants to get back to it, but we'll see. It's really tough to maintain a conversation with yourself unless you have copious notes with a ton of constant information. And for a 2-hour movie, that's got to be really, really hard.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too, recently anyway, is that with the recent movie commentary tracks, they will record it before the movie comes out, like as soon as the production is done. So that there's nothing to say about how people reacted to it, how time has made you reflect on it.
That's not the case in this. They were
No?
talking about test screenings and blah,
okay.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
I just every time I've listened to a modern movies commentary track, it's always just like, yeah, we just wrapped up the editing, and I'm really kind of watching this for the second or third time in this form, and you're like, you kind of need, that they should record it the 3 months, from the time it came out in theaters to when they release it on video, because it gives you some perspective, and you can react to, how the world reacted to it. Because I like remember the commentary track on Little Nicky, where they had no frame of reference to how, they knew that people were gonna be pissed off about the voice, because the studio guys were like, is he going to do that voice the whole time? But like no one, they were just like, and yeah, here's another $100 million hit for Adam Sandler we're making. And it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not a big like listen to the commentaries kind of person. It's just something when it's something that I just need to know more about. Like I need to know everything about involved in making that movie kind of thing. Like I want to know how all of this came together, like how they made it happen. But it's strange. Because I feel like Edgar Wright's commentary track by himself, he gets a little too wandery about talking about something that's not really related to the scene that's playing out. And I feel like the other one almost gets a little too inside baseball, where it's like, all right, now you're kind of breaking the illusion a little bit by telling me every little trick you did to pull off this shot. Like it's strange, because like I know you're wanting to see how the sausage is made by listening to a commentary track, but I feel like that one is just like, oh, I kind of wish you hadn't like ruined that. I didn't realize that's where you did a split and this isn't like the same shot, or things like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I believe it's Spielberg that will never do a commentary for that specific reason, or at least he said that. I don't know if he ever has since then, but
I'm not sure that he did.
I believe that it was him that said basically like, I don't want to break. I don't want to peel back that curtain too far.
Yeah,
by doing this.
Like I said, it's just weird. I feel like we've gone to a strange point in time where we've lost something that happened in the kind of naturally in the original version of like IMDb trivia, where that's a fucking garbage pile now of this person was in this thing with this person, and if these people all played superheroes, and then fuck off, you know, like
the ones that have filled out the trivia before the movie has even come out,
right? Yeah. Like these people have all played Superman in different incarnations, and but like just dumb shit like that. Like there was like a fine line of like I want to know the funky trick, like the biggest thing kind of sort of barely got addressed in the two-person commentary. There is the shot. I'm not going to explain the scene because if you haven't seen the movie, there is a shot where car pulls up alongside another one, throws a grenade in, and it like perfectly goes into the cup holder. And I was like, how many fucking takes did that take to make right, and is it 100% real? Like I was just like, I need to know this. Like I want to know if like somebody like they were just like, nope, do it again. Like. Just, and they did finally admit that like actually Jamie Foxx was the one who wanted to do it the most takes. Like he was like, I can do this. Like but eventually they ultimately did kind of cheat. Like it's a composite shot of like the shot and then just like it dropping in. So like there's a very brief splice of like where they just faked it into the cup holder. So
fine.
Yeah,
here I figured they used magnets.
No, it's just like a shot basically dropping it straight into the cup holder versus the tossing it from one car to the other. But
well.
But then full Jamie Foxx even, he was like, wait, I don't remember doing it. Did I do it? And they're like, no, we just kind of faked it. So it even fooled him. But yeah, I mean, there's mildly problematic commentary on that movie. A lot of praising for one actor in particular. So I mean,
yeah.
Just know that going in that this was prior to that knowledge, I guess. Anywho, but like, yeah, it's for a movie like this that I really love. I'm happy that I listened to both of them. Like I said, if you're not quite to the level of obsession that I am, if you're going to listen to one, listen to the two-person one. You're going to get more information. But I don't know. It was fun, and I don't regret my time. Nice thing about commentary tracks with something that you've seen as many times as I have in a short period of time is I kind of mostly listen to these at work. Like I put it on a second screen and like occasionally glance at the movie, but I was mostly just listening to them talk. So
Yeah. And I noticed on iTunes it streams commentary.
Yep.
And if your work has a certain firewall put up, you can't do that.
Oh.
I learned that the hard way because I was like, why the fuck won't any of these play? And then I loaded it on my phone, and then I saw like ones that were actually saved.
How do you have the movie but not be able to stream the commentary? I'm confused.
On my phone, because I've been able to download it in the past. I have the file, so I don't know. But yeah, for some reason, the streaming never works on my iTunes. But I had, like, the Galaxy 2 I had saved on my phone for when I was on the plane a month ago. And I noticed when I played the commentary on that, I could see the loading, the accessing data thing spinning. So I was like, all right, they're streaming it for some reason.
Yeah.
Which seems weird for a mono file, granted, a 2-hour MP3 mono file it's not huge, but I don't know. I don't understand why they do it that way. But I guess they just figure that nobody's listening to these damn things.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's easier to not bake the commentary track into the MP4 or whatever it is.
Maybe.
M3C4X H1132.
M4A.
Sure.
M4P, actually.
Oh.
It's an iTunes file. It's protected. Anyway.
Well, their audio usually isn't.
Yeah, but I like commentary tracks. I miss them. It's rare that I get because I still buy physical media for some stuff these days, and it's rare when you're something like, hey, wait a minute, this has a commentary track. What the hell?
It seemed like everything had a commentary track for a while, and
from like 98 through 2002, I'd say it didn't matter what your movie was.
Yeah,
it was standard procedure.
Yeah.
It was part of your contract. It was like, all right, you record a commentary track for this.
Yep. This is how we're going to beat VHS.
Hey, it worked for me, man.
Yeah.
It worked. I bought so much shit based on what was on the back of the box.
Yeah.
if there was something that said special edition on the top, I was like, ooh, look at that. I'd pay $19 for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now nobody cares. So
that's true. Literally
Apparently.
nobody cares.
We want all the D's possible, but we don't care about extras. Extra D's, yes.
Correct.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll come back around, you know.
Probably will once the resolution stuff bottoms out.
The resolution
once we stick to something for longer than 18 goddamn months.
Yeah. It'll be nice. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you guys want an email?
Yeah, I want an email.
I also want an email.
We got one a little bit late, but it pertains to last week's episode.
Oh.
So this one's from Greencapped.
Oh.
Your
who?
friend of mine.
What?
Greencapped.
Huh?
It's been a while.
Drink.
Yeah, there we go. It's titled Salutations, Banff Men. Greencapped here. You know, the dude who I think took his internet name from that drinking game you used to do on your show a few years back.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that thing? You just did it. Anyhow, I just wanted to take a quick moment and congratulate you all on the anniversary milestone of podcasting that you're about to reach. Congratulations on episode 200. Your well-oiled chemistry on the show reminds me of Freud's structural model of the human psyche. BJ is the id, Mackie is the ego, Harlow is the superego, and Chuck is the Chuck. I hope. Where was I? Sorry, I had to take a break from writing this email and lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Congrats on episode... Wait, what? Oh, damn. How long did it take me to get back to this? Okay. Congrats on episode 250. As always, BMFcast remains a beacon of fun and an otherwise... Sorry, back again. Never seems I can be very timely in finishing emails these days. Have you seen that teaser trailer for Furious 7 yet? Man, it looks... Shit! Back again. All I wanted to do was wish you the best on your, god damn it, 300th episode. Why am I even bothering to try this? Here goes nothing. That thing that you were saying about The Force Awakens coming out next month got me reflecting on, son of a bitch, this email. Why is it even still in my drafts folder? I should have deleted it years ago. Oh, look, you reached episode 350. Well, big whoop-de-damn-do. Are you having a party? Fuck, we should all have a party after that fucking election last week. Christ on a cracker. How can you even talk about anything but this shit year Mother goddamn fucker, why can't I finish anything these days? Oh, right, probably having kids or work or some real-life bullshit like that. Fuck, fuckity, fuck. Happy fucking 400th episode, you guys. And for that fucking matter, happy 450th, 500th, and 1500th, because I know I'll never get around to sending this. Green capped out. Sent from my Nokia 6100. Sent from my Motorola Q. Sent from my iPhone 3G. Sent from my iPhone 4S. Sent from my iPhone 6S.
I assume he just listed every cell phone he's ever had.
Well, it's probably each draft of what he was writing over the years.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense too.
Fucking hell, man.
Well done, sir.
Thanks, Green Cap.
Now we know why we haven't heard from him in
Right.
3 years. Ah, wow.
Green capped, a man who's actually been on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
One
That
of
was a
less
long
than a
time ago.
dozen people who have been on this show.
I know.
So it's a rare occurrence.
His email sort of makes me think of the 1 in 100 funny XKCD comics from a couple of like the least wanted email feature, which was like how long it took you editing or writing.
Oh,
an
right,
email.
yeah.
And it was like 45 minutes spent editing for. Great, sounds good. I'll see you then.
And we haven't had a guest on the show in a long time.
It's true.
Yeah, I
we
think
can't
Walt was the last
Yeah, I
one who
think
made
Walt killed it.
Like,
Walt
killed
came
it?
in here with a plan.
Like he slayed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Greencapped has been on
No.
a YouTube show.
No. That was
No,
way
he's only been
before.
on.
No,
he
wait,
was only
no.
on the Super Soldier special.
You were YouTubing when I was gone when he was here. You didn't ever switch to the 4 camera setup, but you stuck on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I watched
No,
the
he
live
wasn't.
stream.
Not green capped.
No, not Green Cap. I
Oh.
thought we were talking about Walt.
Oh.
No.
No.
Greencapped.
Green capped.
Oh, okay, my bad. No, Green Cap was long before we started streaming at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think was he on No Quarters as well?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't even remember anymore.
We don't really like anybody
Yeah,
but each other anymore.
iTunes doesn't even have all those anymore, so
Oh, well.
you could go on the website to get them. If you really want to hear about 8-year-old video games,
Hell yeah, I do.
I do.
do you?
Not.
If you don't want to hear about 8-year-old video games, what website should you go to?
BMFcast.com.
Chuck was very excited you got that right.
I like
that- right?
that even picked up your watch rattling.
Is that where we go?
Yeah, Chuck like just geeked out about that. He's like, he got it right.
He said the thing.
Yeah.
And I did it so good last week that I just
You're spent.
Just try.
website is bmfcast.com. The phone number is 9105-JOCKS-BMF. The email address is bmf@bmfcast.com. This week's shitty outro is brought to you by Chuck not sending me the clip of the outro from last week that was so good that I wanted to emulate for the rest of our lives.
I tried to hype you up so much, and you blew it.
You know, when you blew it is when you blew my hype up by not sending me the clip.
How
That is
dare
all.
you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Well,
No, how dare you?
yes. Not
Why don't
donate
you
to
take
our
off your
Patreon.
little dainty gloves and slap each other about the face.
I demand satisfaction.
In 400 episodes, you wanted me to standardize it. I asked you to help me standardize it, and you failed me for the last time, Chuck.
Fine, you're right.
I mean, to be fair,
Because you're not gonna fail me.
to be fair, the episode is on the internet at this point.
again. It is.
I mean, I don't know if you're aware of this. If you go to somewhere like BMFcast.com,
You don't even know what it is. Fuck off.
no, there was a pause there for emphasis.
Oh sure. Oh sure. I believe you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, all of these random people have listened to the episode, and
Maybe they have.
and
You don't know.
and you could too.
I don't listen to the fucking podcast, man.
It's at the end. You just go scrubby scrub, and you're right there.
I don't scrabble.
You scrabble
man.
it,
I don't
man.
scrabble.
You gotta,
I don't
Yeah,
scrabble.
you gotta
My
scrabble.
mom raised me to not scrabble.
You gotta scrabble before you squirt. Mm-hmm. That's Zune life, motherfucker. Anyway, let's get out of here,
Sweat
shall we?
for no man.
yes, please, let's go.
But he threw me off. All right. Well, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast Out.
I'm a
Season 2 is
monkey.
weird.
Season 2 is weird.
Yeah. Man, all these new plot lines.
Chuck, we got beef again.
Yeah.
We got a new beef
Hot
plot line.
beef. We gave the show a hot beef injection. Yeah, just what this show needed.
Answer the question, Claire. How are we doing a breakfast club?
Oh, yeah, bye, motherfuckers, bye.
5 minutes early.
My ears.
5 minutes early.
Yeah.
Nice. 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 Fucking sweet, bro. Right here. Don't leave me hanging. I don't even know what we're high-fiving for. I just heard a lot of noise.
I just love it. I swear, Gears of War, that was my favorite. That was the only reason I wanted to get an active reload, was so he'd go, nice! Which he'd do every time you did it.
Oh, Ace said he loved you, or she loved you, Chuck. Thank you, Ace.
What you doing over there? Oh, you're taking all the movies to mail out to winners.
Yep.
So what did people pick? Let's see.
Somebody picked Doomed?
Steve liked Bird.
Doomed.
Doomed!
Doomed. Doomed.
Grab Wicker Man?
Wicker Man.
For Scoop?
Where's Worker Man?
Oh, that's the one he picked? He picked Wicker Man?
Yeah.
Wow, somebody else was requesting Wicker Man. But he hemmed and hawed for too long, so he doesn't get it.
He picked 8 first, but Jens had already picked 8.
Hey, if anyone's still listening on the live stream, somebody take Food Fight, please. Please take Food Fight. We just want someone to take
Nobody's
Food Fight.
taken Food Fight yet?
No, it's the
Doesn't it have a digital code in it?
It's our
too?
fucking monkey's paw, man.
Toss me that movie on the top of the middle stack. I'm kind of curious what that is. No, go up one. That one. What is that? Oh, man.
So
That's
it
got
is-
Chuck Liddell in it. When are we watching this?
You think I'm giving that away for free on a live stream?
What? No. I'm not thinking of giving it away.
No, I'm saying, do you think I'm going to give away that we're watching what you're holding
Oh.
on the live stream? When motherfuckers got to pay us $3 for that information.
Well, it's not like it's next week.
It's
I
not
know
next-
what next week's.
You're right, it's not next week.
Thanksgiving.
Wait, you're not even here this next week, are you?
I'm not.
That's why we're not watching what we were going to watch.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to say.
All right.
All right.
Well, good night. I'm leaving.
Okay.
So it turns out Hitman's Bodyguard guy made Expendables 3. So this is a step up for him, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, I liked Expendables 3.
Yeah, Expendables 3 was alright.
Okay, it's
It
two,
had that
it's
crazy
two
train
that
shit at the
sucks.
beginning of it.
Huh?
Which one had the train shit?
I thought that
Train
was
shit.
2.
2. That might have been the only thing I liked.
2's opening was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Jet Li literally parachuted out of the movie.
Yes.
And
Yeah, he was like.
and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Expendables 3, like, the action is really
Yeah,
good.
Expendables 3 is good.
It just has like 45 cast members.
Well, they were like, here are all these new kids, and you're like, who the fuck are these people? I don't give a shit about any of these.
Was there a Hemsworth in that one?
franchise died.
Yeah, there was a Hemsworth in that one.
Had Ronda Rousey, I think.
Maybe.
All right. Later, peeps.
Bye, dude.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Expendables 3. It's just it.
Bye.
I think
fine.
I think after 2, it was like, man, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I agree.
Like I said, I'm not saying Hitman's Bodyguard is amazing. It's just it was surprisingly good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
I think the only time we've only ever cracked each other up when we were active. I honestly
you
stopped.
and I
paying-
have gotten each
I
other.
honestly stopped trying to look. I try to not look at the comments while we're doing because of that.
If
very
I don't
reason.
have a whole lot to say, I'm
I know.
watching, but sometimes things that people say in the live stream about the movie will remind me of things that I want to say. And
Yeah.
Also, I just like interacting with these people.
I do too. I just like I said, I find myself sometimes getting distracted, and then making better jokes that are lost to time, like Tears in the Rain, and the YouTube comments that go away as soon as we hit stop.
These people will remember it.
I know.
That's right.
I still cherish my Marshall fucker joke.
Marshall fucker.
That was good. Yeah, it got you too. That was what we did about it. All right. All right, hitting stop. Going
night,
away
fam.
now. Bye. Yeah, keep it real, fam. Keep it 100 and something.
Right.
Keep it 110. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Just 1 mile at a time.